gonna think we just feed our child pizza and cheesesteaks and God knows what else.
Welcome back to Casiano Travels.
Home of the family that lives by car and plane.
I'm MJ.
I'm Christine.
And delicasy.
We're on day 46 of quarantine. Been a rough go. We're doing our part, staying at home, and we're now on episode 5 of our Goldbelly edition. So I'm pretty pumped about tonight's dinner.
So today we're doing Pat's King of Steaks from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Yes, we are. I think he wants an onion ring. Do you want an onion ring? I think that's his first ever.
Now when you think of Philadelphia, you think of cheesesteaks. That's always the first thing that pops into your mind. And when you think of Philadelphia cheesesteaks, there's 2 places. There's Pat's and there's Gino's. About 2 years ago, Christine and I, actually when she was pregnant with Cash, went to Philadelphia and we tried out Pat's and Gino's just to see who was the king of Philadelphia.
My personal favorite whenever we went was Gino's. I don't know if it was because the onions were more cooked down. I'm not a big onions person, so if there's any type of raw onion, it's a no-go for me. And at least in person, I remember Gino's to me had the better cooked onions. So that was my personal favorite. I think it was a little cheesier too, which I liked.
I remember liking Pat's more. As far as Gino's goes, I remember the cheese was actually on the bread underneath the meat. And then I remember at Pat's, the cheese was on top of the meat, kind of how I have it as today. I thought the flavor was a little bit better at Pat's. She thought the flavor was a little bit better at Gino's.
Regardless, we both thoroughly enjoyed our cheesesteaks when we were there in Philadelphia. So as soon as we saw Pat's on Goldbelly's, we knew we had to try it and see how close it came to the real thing.
So this is how it became packaged. We bought the buy 6, get 6 free. And so it came in a big styrofoam cooler with ice in it. And this is how it was packaged. No different than if you got it at the restaurant. The eating instructions were pretty clear. You put it in the oven at 300 degrees for about 12 minutes and it's good to go.
It looks amazing. I'm like ready to dig in.
I'm ready to dig in. Let's do it.
I'm so hungry. He's already digging in. Oh man, we get a whole one? I don't even know if I can handle a whole one.
So here are the cheesesteaks. They look really good.
Yeah, they look amazing.
They look almost identical to what I remember getting them in real life.
Presentation wise, this is really good. The bread is like really soft too, so that's really good. I'm excited to dig in. Let's do it.
Bon appetit. Cheers.
Cheers.
Not bad.
The first thing that I'm getting hit with is like the cheese, which tastes so good. And the meat is really good too. I feel like it is a little bit on the drier side though.
I agree.
But the flavor is really good. I don't get really any onions at all. Was this with onions?
This had onions in it.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of onions, which for me is great. So I'm enjoying that.
Flavor's good. It doesn't taste exactly as I remember it in real life, but overall it's pretty solid. Probably the biggest takeaway is there's not enough cheese. So
I think that's why it's drier, is because there's not nearly enough cheese, and they only give you a small amount.
So they actually give you one of these for cheese. Now we got the 12 pack, so they sent us 3 of these cheese things. So really, you gotta make this work very sparingly. Definitely not enough cheese.
Yeah.
So we've already used up this container. We're gonna be a little sad when it comes to cheese time here on the rest of these. So if there's an option to buy on Goldbelly, a little extra cheese, I would highly recommend that.
Yeah, that's like my biggest takeaway is that it tastes so good, but it would be like that much better if there was enough cheese to go all the way throughout it. It's just really dry, but it tastes great. I'm eating it.
So as always, there's 3 things that we're judging this sandwich off of. It's presentation, its taste, and it's how it compares to having it fresh in the restaurant. For me, visually, it looks almost identical to what I remember. You got the paper wrapped around it. The bread looks exactly the same. The cheese drizzled over it. It looks almost identical. The presentation's great. The taste, it's good. It's not great, it's not bad, it's just good. And how does it compare to the actual restaurant? Cheers. Not as good. To me, the bread's a little dry. It's a little crunchier than what I remember as having it fresh. There's just not enough cheese. And honestly, there's not enough onions either. I feel like the onions, just because they were cooked, frozen, and then recooked, they're like paper thin. Like you can't even, I mean, they're translucent.
I'm personally happy about that.
She hates onions. I love them. So I would love a mountain of onions on top of this. So overall, I gotta go 6.8. Not the best Goldbelly package that we've had shipped to our door.
I have to agree. This isn't the best one that we've had, but the flavor is still there. Like, it's still really reminiscent of a good cheesesteak, but it's just not the same as what it was like in person. I will say that. The flavor is still good. The meat was a little dry. There wasn't enough cheese. I'd say overall, I'd have to give it a 6.2.
6.2 from Pristine.
Cash seems to be a pretty big fan though. He likes it. He's got cheese all over right here.
You like it, Cashy?
Yeah, I think he likes the blandness.
I think Cash is probably like an 8.5 on this. He's loving it. He's scarfing it up.
Cheers, buddy.
So an 8.5 from Cashy. As always, we appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned for more Goldbelly reviews coming your way.
Everybody stay safe.
Bon appetit.
He keeps seeing us cheers, so he keeps wanting to cheer. Cheers!